Recording in progress.
and feel that they're still not getting job interviews? Give me a quick yes in the chat if we have any candidate. Okay. Now, there are a few candidates and I'll ask a few questions. Okay. How many of you are aware of something called as Databricks? Whoever has given me a yes, how many of you are aware of this? Databricks. How many of, okay, a lot of no's, right? There are some yeses, but then there are a lot of no's as well. How many of you have some project on your resume which mentions frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph? And all of these questions are applicable to only those candidates who have just given me a yes right now. Cool. Just one yes. All the other participants has given me a no, right? So the point is that you would get hundreds of candidates out there in the job market who, just like you, have learned these fundamental concepts. Why should I choose you? Why would I prioritize you over all the other hundreds of candidates out there? And that is where it's very important that you kind of start phase two in your learning. Okay, what is phase two? Phase two is the dynamic part of the industry where, let's say, 5 years ago, we had orchestration frameworks like Airflow, which were very popular, right? But today, everything is taken over by another tool known as Databricks. And maybe 2 years later, there would be something else, right? So this is where you kind of understand the industry trends and patterns in terms of what is in the highest demand right now. And you need to quickly learn the basics and fundamentals of those tools, frameworks, technologies. I have mentioned a few of these important frameworks, technologies, or tools here. For example, LangChain. Now, let me simply explain what LangChain is. LangChain is a framework built in Python, which kind of lets you design applications using a large language model. Okay, think about what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is nothing but an application which lets you chat. But what are you chatting with? You're chatting with a large language model ultimately, right? You can build your own chatbot using LangChain, LangGraph, Llama Index, etc. And these are really easy frameworks to learn once you have understood the core concepts of Python. Understanding the fundamentals of LangGraph would hardly take you 15 days. But those 15 days and a small project over LangGraph, LangChain would give a lot of weight to your resume, right? So you need to plan accordingly. Now, I have given you some of the current, you know, patterns, current trends, but how you can yourself extract all of this information? How can you yourself know what is currently trending? The answer to this is LinkedIn, which we are going to be discussing in detail in step 5 or so, right? Towards the last. So in order to claim that your skill set is relevant, there are two parts to it, important, right? One is the fundamental part, one is the evolving part, right? Once you have done something in both the ends, you will really start getting interview calls. And the more interview calls you get, the more is your chance that you will actually crack an interview. Okay. Now, there are a lot of tutorials available around LangChain. Similarly, there are a lot of tutorials available around LangGraph, a lot of tutorials available around Databricks, GUVI, right? Is it enough that you go through these tutorials? It's not enough. This is where we have this actionable tip at the next step in our roadmap. Okay. Rather than just watching through some tutorials around these tools, frameworks, you need to kind of pick one tool and start doing small projects on your own to build familiarity. And apart from building familiarity, this also helps you in creating your portfolio. I'll explain how. Okay. Let's say I'm a candidate and you are a hiring manager. Okay. I have my resume where I have put Databricks, where I have put LangChain in my skills, right? There's a specific skills section in your resume. I'm sure everybody's aware about that. So if I have a lot of these technical jargons, keywords, obviously it is adding some weight to your profile. But in order to prove that you really know something about LangChain, about LangGraph, you need to have a project in your resume as well. Imagine a scenario. I'm a candidate. I have written all of these words, all of these keywords in the skill set, but then there's no project around it. Would you believe me? It's hard to believe, right? And the same logic is used by something known as ATS, another artificial intelligent product that we use to kind of filter profiles, right? So in your resume, if you have mentioned a lot of things in your skills, but you have not mapped your skills to your projects, there's a good amount of chance that your resume will still get rejected. Now, whether you know something or not, if your resume itself is getting rejected, there's no use of your knowledge that you have gained. So that is why you should focus around building real world projects. Now, how many of you have heard this before? Maybe on in a YouTube video, maybe from a senior, maybe somebody advised you that in order to get into data science and machine learning, you need real world projects. How many of you have heard this? Quickly give me a yes. And how many of you understand what a real world project is? Can somebody explain what do you mean by a real world project? You can write this in the chat. Okay, this is an interesting answer which solves real world problems. There are hundreds of problems in the real world. In fact, hundreds is a very small number, right? So what problem you have to solve so that your project could be considered as a real world problem? Okay, it has to be realistic, directly applicable to real life situations. Cool, some answers in the right direction, but let me explain what is a real world problem, and let me also give you a logical reasoning behind my answer. Okay. First of all, real world projects are nothing but problem statements that you have faced in your own life, which you try to solve with something that you have learned. Okay. So basically, it's a way of bridging the gap between what you have learned theoretically and using it to solve problems that you see around yourselves. See, somebody mentioned that these are problems from the real world. Obviously, but in real world, I am also facing some problems. You're also facing some problems. Should you work on solving my problems? No. You should work on solving the problems that you have faced yourselves. What is the reason behind this? Let's say you are a hiring manager again at your dream company, and there are two candidates that you can choose from. Okay, just a minute. So there are two candidates that you can choose from. Candidate A is skilled, right? They're technically sound, they know everything, but they only work when you ask them to work. So, in a way, they would wait until you assign them a problem statement. And once you assign them, they can solve the problem statement. Versus there's another candidate, candidate B, with equal amount of experience as A, similar skill sets, similar technical knowledge, understanding, etc., etc. But then you basically see that whenever they see a problem around themselves, they can start on their own, right? Which candidate would you pick out of A and B in your team? Okay, a lot of answers in the chat, and only one candidate has chosen B so far. Sorry, A so far. Everybody else has picked B, right? And the simple reason is, in a team, in an organization, everybody wants employees who can identify problems in a pipeline on their own, and they can come up with the solutions of these problems, right? Because everybody wants to create leaders at every role across their organization. That is how an organization would move towards growth altogether, right? So, as a candidate, if you kind of explain a problem statement that you have seen in your own life, and you have tried solving that problem statement with whatever you have learned in step 1 and 2, I know that you are candidate type B, right? It's a proof for me. How many of you write self motivated in your resume somewhere, maybe in strengths or something like that? Okay, I often see candidates putting strength and weaknesses section in their resume, where in the strengths they would write, I'm self motivated. How many of you have done this? Just quickly give me a yes. Okay, 50-50, right? 50% saying no, 50% saying yes. I'm not saying it's bad to write that you are self motivated. But if you're just writing self motivated, how do I believe you? Anybody can write, I'm a self motivated person. But at the same time, if I see projects which are coming out of problems in your own life, I understand that you're self motivated and you have the knack of, you know, connecting problems to solutions based on your knowledge. And these are the type of candidates which are highly sought after in the job market. So that is why the, the definition of real world experience, real world project for me is really simple. You learn something, and in isolation, you have created small projects on all the skills that you have learned. For example, when you learned Databricks, you just used Databricks to solve a problem statement, a very small project. But this very small project cannot be put in your resume, right? So then what you do is, once you have learned a lot of these things, for example, you have now learned Databricks, you have now learned AWS, you have now learned Python, DBMS, SQL. Now, you take a real world problem from around yourself and you architect a solution around it. That, okay, in order to solve this problem, I'll have to use this component, that component. And that is where I understand that you're self motivated, as well as that also gives me an idea that I don't have to spend a lot of time in training you. Okay. The reason why nobody wants to hire a fresher is because we have to train freshers, right? And it easily takes somewhat between 3 to 4 months. So if you can prove me an interview that I don't have to spend a lot of my time in training you, I'm good to go with you. Okay, it would reduce my resistance of hiring you or thinking of you as a teammate in my team. As simple as that. Now, so far, we have seen how you should plan your learning. Pooja, we are coming to that. Okay, don't worry. This is the last step because there would be candidates in this session who might have learned some of the relevant tools and technologies, who might also have gone through learning the concepts that I have mentioned in fundamentals. They might even have created a resume, they might have a portfolio, but still they're not getting job interviews. And maybe they would want to apply for internship, or they would just want to get out of this vicious cycle of being rejected, right? So the technical journey is over now, right? But the journey of getting your first job is still not over. You still have to crack your first role, right? And this is where your network comes into the picture. Because trust me or not, network is like a digital currency today, right? How do you build your network? Obviously, you create your presence on platforms like LinkedIn, Naukri, right? How do you create a good presence? You would have to post something, right? You'd have to put yourselves out there. Maybe you spend 10 days learning Databricks and you have created something really small. Maybe you can post that okay, in the last 10 days I have learned Databricks. These are the key things that I loved about Databricks. These are, I feel that these are some of the enhancement areas where Databricks can still improve, and this is what I have created. Okay, does this matter to somebody in Databricks? Are they looking at such posts of yours, and are they going to be taking your suggestions? Absolutely not, right? But what is the advantage of you kind of posting such things? When you post regularly on a platform, the platform kind of sees you as an entity which is bringing them engagement. Because if not a lot of people are interacting with your posts, even 20, 30 people would be engaging with your posts, which means for the platform where you are posting, you're bringing 20, 30 people to the platform. And all the social media platforms require engagement. So once you start doing this, platform would kind of boost your profile. They would reward you. And when you post more, you get rewarded more. And in this cycle, you kind of create a very good network. At the same time, if you're posting sensible stuff, people, maybe recruiters, maybe senior people from some organizations might also notice your posts. And at the same time, it would become easy for you to directly interact with such people, recruiters and people working in your dream company, right? At the same post where you want to get someday, right? Okay, I hope my video is available to everyone else. There's one candidate saying that my video is not available. So you need to make a presence on LinkedIn and Naukri. And in order to build presence, you just need to interact with the platform, right? Whatever is on your mind, just start posting it. Don't worry about what exactly are you posting and are you really posting quality stuff or not. Just start posting. Okay. Now, this would build you a network, but how would you utilize this network? Let's just understand how to utilize this network for your own benefit in multiple ways. First, let me take you back to the place, roadmap step 2, where I kind of mentioned that you can yourself identify what are the current trends. If you have a good network, some people in this network would be people already working in the industry, right? And now you can interact with such people and understand what they are currently working on, right? What tools, technologies, frameworks they are using in their current projects. And the more you interact, the more you understand about a general trend in the industry. Okay, so that is one benefit of your connection. Second, how many of you are aware of the concept of referrals? Give me a quick yes in the chat if you understand this term, referrals. Great. So, referral is basically a situation where if I have an opening in my organization, I can ask the HR of my organization to kind of interview, let's say, Khushbu for the position. And I tell them that I have evaluated the profile, I have evaluated the resume of Khushbu, and I feel that Khushbu might be a right fit for this role, right? So in a way, this is cutting the line rather than you going ahead, you know, sending your resume via the uh, official careers page of the website, and then the resume getting selected via ATS. You directly reach in the front of this queue, right? Now, what is the benefit that I get by referring your profile? Usually, what happens is organizations pay a referral bonus. Why do they pay a referral bonus? Because obviously, I'm making their work easier. Usually, an HR is supposed to identify, potential profiles for a job opening. But how many people can they reach? Obviously, they're also human beings. So if somebody is doing their work on their behalf, the organization is ready to pay such employees in terms of referral benefits. So obviously, I'm happy if I can make some extra cash by referring you. And obviously, I'll get this money only if you get selected. It's not that I just refer you and I get money, right? So it is beneficial for the organization. It is beneficial for the employee who is referring your profile to the HR for an interview. And it is definitely beneficial for you. So the second way you can directly use your network is by asking for referrals. Now, how many of you have tried asking for referrals? Give me a quick yes. And how many of you have actually gotten an interview opportunity because of a referral that you might have asked? So there are quite a few people who have asked for referrals, but like almost 50% of these people are saying that they have never actually gotten something out of it, right? And Aditya has mentioned their pain point that nobody refers to fresher profiles, which is, to an extent true. Now, let me explain the reason behind that. If somebody asks for a referral, I'll have to genuinely kind of, go through their profile and see the fit, right? And in majority of the fresher profiles, I see that their skill set does not align to where my organization is heading. For example, we are heavily invested in the field of generative AI, right? In our data science and artificial intelligence teams. Now, if you don't understand the concepts of large language models, if you don't understand the concept of prompt engineering, if you don't understand the concept of uh, how these generative AI models work, if you not have worked on small projects using the frameworks that I mentioned, I'll not refer you. Why? Because even if I refer you, it's kind of coming back to me only. HR might question that without a proper fit for the organization and the open position, why are you still referring to candidates? And if I keep on doing this, nobody would take me seriously, right? So there could be multiple reasons behind why nobody is giving you referrals. Maybe you have not, you have missed something in step 1, 2, 3, 4 that we have kind of proposed. Maybe it has something to do with the way you are putting your projects on your resume, or maybe there's something wrong with the way you ask for a referral. right? It could be anything. Let's move on to the next, you know, way in which you can use your network. How many of you have seen posts from your network stating that I'm happy to announce that I have cracked this job, or maybe I'm transitioning from company A to company B? How many of you have seen such posts? Obviously, as expected, a lot of you have seen such posts, right? What do you guys do when you see such posts? What do you typically do? Okay, some people are saying that they congratulate the other person. You might like their post, you might put a comment, you might even sometimes direct message them, right? Which is good. You should definitely congratulate. Now, Smith has said, if I know the person, I congratulate, which makes sense. But Smith, and this is also for everybody else to understand. Such profiles are a gold mine for you. Whether you know the person, whether you don't know the person, does not matter. How are they a gold mine? Let me let you in on another secret. When I interview a candidate, it's extra burden on me, right? Nobody is paying me to kind of interview candidates. At the same time, the management, the organization still expects me to do equal amount of work that I was supposed to do, and then take out 40 to 45 minutes of my life to interview a candidate for them. Okay. So nobody likes that. And that is where I would never go and bother myself with creating questions, right? I could obviously think about what should I ask, but nobody does that. And that is where we all use questions repeatedly, right? At least 60 to 70% of the questions which people ask for a machine learning interview are repeated. And if somebody has cracked an interview, they would have given at least 4 to 5 interviews. So it means they have a lot of questions which are actually being asked. And if somehow you can just have a list of these questions, half of your interview is already clear. Half of it you can already predict what would be asked, right? And this is the second hack that I see nobody's using. So definitely congratulate people, but at the same time, create a template ready where after your congratulation, after your greeting, you're just requesting them to share their interview experience, their interview journey. Make them feel important. Be a part of their triumph. Make them feel that they have really done something splendid, something amazing, and you want to learn from them, right? There are two ways of doing this. Either I sound selfish, right? That, okay, I know that you have a lot of interview questions. Please give these questions to me so that I can also make a transition. This is selfish. And with a little bit of wordplay, it's like, it's really splendid. I'm inspired by your journey, right? Can you please guide me on how can I also do the same? You're making me feel powerful. You're making me feel smart, intelligent. In the second scenario, there's a good amount of chance that the other people would respond and they would actually share their experience with you. And you can just reverse engineer this to kind of sort at least 50% of your interview, right? So you can use LinkedIn to get more offers, to kind of upskill in the right direction. Because when you're interacting with other people on what they are working, what their organization is working, you basically understand where the industry is heading towards. and what should you learn and what should you not learn, because believe me or not, time is limited, and in the shortest span of time you would want to learn the most important things. The goal is not to learn, the goal is to learn the most important things which could be used in an interview. Always think in the backward direction. Okay. And lastly, you can kind of do research and analysis of interview trends as well, right? You can understand what type of questions are being asked. And if you can successfully do all of these three things, you are top of the line, right? And your transition journey would be like way easier as compared to the other candidates who are just doing stuff in random order. Okay. Now, one more thing. So, as we discussed, it's it's a bit harder for fresher candidates to get a job. This is a truth, right? But that does not mean that you cannot break out of this cycle. And the right way to move forward in such situation is an internship. Okay, because internship gives you some sort of real world experience, right? So if you're not getting job referrals, try to do the same thing but with internships. There are a lot of internship opportunities out there, so start reaching out to people in the organization where they have internship opportunities. Okay, and move ahead. Once you have a relevant internship, maybe 3 to 4, 6 months, it would be relatively easier for you to kind of apply for job roles. Okay, so this was a 5 step roadmap where you need to make sure that you have, you know, given your genuine effort in every step before moving ahead, right? These steps are sequential. So obviously, if you are still learning, there is no point in kind of going to step 5 and applying for job referrals. That would not work in your favor, right? So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Follow all of these things in a sequence. Now, this is a better and a little bit more detailed roadmap on what all tools and technologies you would have to master, right? Majority of these are fundamentals, for example, Python, SQL, exploratory data analysis, which is again done using Python and some SQL. Then this is a data visualization library. This is another data visualization library. Just give me a minute, guys. Right? Then you need to learn the concept of machine learning algorithms, then popular neural networks. This is one of the frameworks using which you can create deep learning models. And then some of these here are tools, technologies which are currently trending, right? But obviously, this session is just a beginning, right? This session only provides you a bit of intuition on how should you, first of all, effectively plan this pipeline of transition. There are a lot of other things, right? And most certainly, you cannot, you know, just conquer the world by the knowledge that you might have gotten in these 45 minutes. So for that, I'll give the session back to our career expert, and they would kind of continue with the second part of this session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Harsh. So yeah, guys. So I saw a lot of people having doubts about, again, the same query is popping up, like how to get into this AI domain, and how to become and progressive in this domain. All these questions I have been looking out. So yeah, guys, just a minute. So is my screen visible now? Just a second, I'm just sharing screen. I believe now my screen is visible, right? Oh, yeah, guys. Yeah. So, most of you are asking about the job related questions and stuff, right? Yes, definitely we'll discuss. So, before that, we will see what we are majorly missing out and how to improvise that. So, that we will be discussing now. Okay. So the basic ground level scenario of the education system. So currently everybody would have done 12 years of schooling, 3 years of professional degree, or 4 years of professional degree you guys might have done, but still we are struggling to get a job at this scenario. There was a post in Blinkit for around some thousand vacancies were there, but 13,486 people applied for a thousand vacancy job slot, right? So the reason is that the employer's expectation is here, and our skill set and level is only this much. So there's a huge gap, right? So this gap has to be built and fulfilled. That can be done only by consecutive progress. Just a minute, guys. I think there is an issue with the PPT. Yeah. So there are three major things why we are not able to, get shortlisted into a job interview. The first and foremost thing, most of you would have applied for a job with your resume. The first thing is that your resume might not have got shortlisted, right? The reason is that this ATS, there is something called ATS. This ATS system scans your resume based on the job description. Some people might think that you guys are actually smart, so there are people who will edit their resume based on the job description. So different job description and different set of resumes. Once this ATS scans your resume, so it stores the data. So every time you edit your resume based on the job descriptions, automatically your resume gets invalidated. The reason is that the ATS thinks that's some fake profile, because it will parallelly check with the previous resume whether there is some connection or not, or is the person who is continuously applying in a particular stream, or like it's very whatever it is, it will cross check. So that is the reason resumes are not getting shortlisted. Your ATS resume fit score should be equal to or greater than 80. Only then you will be shortlisted and called for the interview. And second part where most of you guys get rejected is the cultural fit rounds, where there would be communicative, logical, spatial reasoning stuff should happening, and there will be something in some companies they follow this pressure interview. So they will call you and they will ask you questions. They'll shoot out questions in a rapid fire, and you guys might get panic, and that's if you panic, then the game is over. So again, next set of shortlisting happens in the cultural fit rounds. And finally, this aptitude test and assessment. So here, vast majority are being washed out, because mostly, we have all the communicative, technical, and stuff. Or even resume would be strong, but in the aptitude test and assignments, some might not be well versed. So some might have taken some, aptitude classes and stuff. Some might not be well versed. So These are the three major, stopping checkpoints for you to get into a job, where these three set of things would block you to get into the job. So we will, train you to crack all these three things. So finally, you will be getting a job offer letter, right? So yeah. So here's what the game is. So eventually, to crack all the three things which we discussed previously, this inverse learning is very much needed. So if you are someone who is a beginner, or someone who is in the stage where want to quit your job and get into a different domain, or who is someone in the middle of the verge to get into a high paying job, who want to switch the company but you don't have idea, you are somewhere wavering around. So for all you guys, inverse learning would help you, because it is skin in the game, serious commitment. There would be a mentor who would be an industrial expertise, who would be supporting and guiding you in your regional language also. So I just want to know how many of you are interested in inverse learning. So just put them in the chat box, guys. So I'm getting a overwhelming of inverse learning answers. So definitely I'm really happy, guys, because it is the real skin in the game. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's proceed. So I'll tell you how the curriculum in GUVI works. So most of you would have done your college. So the textbooks, degree certificates, and the basic trainings which college has already given you, it's not that enough to survive in this current, advanced era, where in GUVI's curriculum, it is designed as per the future industry's expectations, globally recognized industry authorized projects you'll be working on. And apart from that, top notch placement assistance mock interviews, where we will build your resume, LinkedIn profile, GitHub portfolio, everything we will take care. So you don't even have to worry about that. And finally, industry experts around the country will be there to guide, support you. So you need not have to worry about anything. And I'll tell you how GUI's main boot program works. So regional language support is there, so you need not have to worry about it, because there are around 13 regional language support available. So you don't even have to worry about it, guys. So initially you are here, guys. This program is an online live real-time classes. So 3 months weekday program means 3 months, weekend means 5 months. Okay. So per day, 2 hours you would be spending either in the morning or in the evening. Timing it's flexible, so you don't even have to worry about it. And added to that, 2 hours classes, online live real-time interactive classes. Once the classes are done, then you guys will be focusing and working on 20 capstone projects. These capstone projects are assigned from the industries, from Zoho, Freshworks, Paytm, and so on. So you'll be working on the projects. Once the projects are done, then by fourth month, placement training would start. Technical round training, HR round training, mock interviews, all this would happen. So once that is also done, then comes your resume building. So top notch placement preparation would start. The team will be there, your resume, LinkedIn profile, GitHub portfolio, everything we will take care. So once that is done, then you will be onboarded into the real time interviews. So we will be giving you the access for HireNet portal. So until you are getting placed, we will schedule interviews and we will be supporting you. So this is the overall view. Any doubts, queries you guys have, you can ask. Yeah, Solanki, definitely I'll share you the curriculum. Don't worry. Guys, any doubts, queries you have about the main boot camp, you can just put it on the chat box. Yes, yeah, guys, this is a paid course I'll tell you the fee. What are the fee? EMI options are also available, so don't even worry about it. Yes, most people are concerned about the fee. Yes, definitely, I'll reveal you the fee. Don't worry, it would be affordable, and added to that, EMI options are applicable. Don't worry. Guys, any doubts? I see most of you are asking for fees. Yes, definitely, I'll tell you the fees. Don't worry. Apart from that, any doubts in the main boot program? Yes, I'll share you the curriculum and stuff, guys. Don't even worry about it. Yes, placements, Aditya, sorry, Alia Abdul, yes, please. What's the query you have about placements? This is a placement support program. So we have a specific portal called HireNet. So through that portal, you guys would be, putting the filter, working out, and you will be applying for the companies. So I'll tell you how the placements work. So I told you, right, after completing the 3 months, fourth month placement training would start. Technical round training, HR round training, mock interviews. Once that is done, then your resume building, portfolio evaluation, then preparation of interviews would happen. So once that is done, and all the industry ready sessions and stuff, one-on-one doubt clarification, everything would happen. Yeah, guys, just a second. I'm just reading out the queries you are asking. Can you help develop my own AI software? Uh, U- Uzaif, Uzaif Rahman, I believe once you get to know about what is AI and stuff, you yourself can build. So we will be helping you to learn, progress the course. So whatever outcome which you are going to get is completely based on your skill set. Pooja Goswami. So you're putting that no matter I have 5 years educational gap. 5 years educational gap, can you be precise? It is in the degree or after completing your 10th standard, 12th standard. Can you be precise on your educational degree? Yeah, Rahul Singh, fees I'll tell you. Mohammed Zaid, class timings, morning means 9 to 11, evening means around 6 to 8, the classes would be there. Aryan, yes, if you are a second year student, also you can take this program. Like 4 months, 5 months, you can progress. You can take weekend and you can progress for 5 months. Once you are into the third year, then you can take the placement. Orokia Juice Jones. So you have to attend the screening. You have to enroll, and attend the screening. There we will be having an one-on-one HR session. So there we will be discussing about job roles, pay scale, list of companies, previous alumni reference, and alumni how are they progressing now, and how far they are into this. All this will be discussed. Hamza, so if you want, you can post the things in webinar. I mean, if you are attending this webinar, you can post that in LinkedIn. That is up to you. That is your choice. Sanjay Vikas, yes, definitely. If you are in third year, it is the perfect time because you would be in your fifth or sixth semester. So once your sixth or fifth semester is done, seventh semester full of projects work will be going on, right? So by that time, you would be clearing the interview and you will be already having an offer letter in your hand. And added to that, your college will also, if your college is a good college, they will also support you in terms of placement, right? So if you are having an offer letter, you can attend your college placements and you can get a better offer if you are capable of cracking the interviews. So that would help you to improvise and increase your pay scale. Amrita, if you are in second year, people those who are into their second year can take this course and you can utilize the placement support when you are joining your third year. So that would be very much useful for you because in second year you would be learning the course, you would have some better knowledge that would be helpful for your, if you are an IT student, that would be helpful for your college studies also. Added to that, when it comes for placements, you can take your placement support directly in the third year. Yes, Hamza. Guys, people, those who are wanting for a certificate, definitely you guys, everyone will be getting certificate. People, those who are waiting for a certificate, you guys can leave because the upcoming discussion would be about the program placement and the program fee. People, those who are wanting only for a certificate, if you guys want, you can leave. Yeah, fees I will be discussing now shortly, guys. Yes, definitely I'll give you. Guys, if you have any queries, you can just connect me in WhatsApp also. I'll just post my number in the chat. So I'm just putting my WhatsApp number. Guys, those who are wanting for certificate, definitely you guys will be getting your certificate in your mail. So don't worry. If you want and you are waiting for a certificate, means you can leave. No issues on that. Anyways, you'll be getting the certificate. I've just posted my numbers. Any course related queries, doubts, please ask me, guys. Yes, yes, I will be posting the fee structure, guys. Don't worry. Pooja Goswami, no, it is not a free course, it is a paid course. Yeah, guys. So most of you are DM me and I mean most of you are sending me text in WhatsApp. So I'll just tell you the fee structures. I believe everybody is waiting for that one. Yeah, got it, guys. So yes, let's move to the main part. So I'll just tell you what are the main, highlighted things in this program comes along. First thing, first and foremost thing, mentor who's going to support you in your regional language. So he will be taking accountability of how to progress, how not to progress, what are the mistakes you're doing, and how to be better. So that would be taken care. Second thing, these are the major tools you will be working on: Python, SQL, data visualization, deep learning, natural language processing, data cleaning, computer vision, and AI. So these are the major tools you will be working on. Added to that, industrial relevant capstone projects, like I said before. So you guys will be working on the projects too. So once that is done, we can have n number of one-on-one doubt clarification sessions, guys. So until your doubt is clarified, people will be clarifying your doubts. Don't even worry about that. And apart from that, academic wise also we will be helping you and academic as in to crack the logical spatial reasoning things and all will be there, right? So that also will be helping you to crack it out, so you don't even have to worry about it. And added to this, hands-on practice on, apart from the projects, we'll also be conducting n number of workshop sessions. So in that workshop also we would be taking part, and you'll be getting extra hands-on practice for you. And finally comes the top-notch placement support, where your resume, LinkedIn profile, GitHub portfolio, all these three will be taken care by a specialized team. Added to this, we have something called HireNet portal, where all the placement related job searching, everything will be taken care through the HireNet portal. So you don't even have to worry about it. GUVI HCL HireNet portal, so you don't even have to worry about it, guys. So now coming to the major part and small reiteration about GUVI. So GUVI is there for the past 10 years. GUVI is incubated in IIT Madras Research Park and also IIT Madras Ahmedabad. As I told you before, 13 regional languages support we have, and 1,000 plus hiring partners also we have. So yeah, guys, I'll show you. Everybody would remember this moment from Dhoni movie, right? Where he'll be working as a ticket collector. He will be taking a wise decision based on the advice given from his mentor. Understood? Same concept. We need a mentor, proper mentor who will guide us in a right career path. Same ways, people previously, those who joined GUVI and progressed and took a right decision through attending this webinar, these are all our alumni. So Vishnu Priya, who's a fresher, got placed in Lunar Solution. Pavitra, career switch from non-IT domain, she switched and she got placed in L&T Mindtree. Emmanuel David, he is also fresher, got placed in Madnext. And Ritvik Das Gupta. Especially, I have to do make a special mention because he got placed in Deloitte Digital. He is a candidate who's from a non-IT background, and he had a career gap of around 3.5 years. So actually, he is a UPSC aspirant. He was preparing for this UPSC exams. Meanwhile, he was working in some non-voice voice process. So he joined GUVI through this webinar, got placed, he progressed and he got placed. So we will also have an alumni podcast meet also, where you will be getting an opportunity to have a basic discussion with the alumni, previous alumni of GUVI. So all the support is there, and added to this, lifetime access to GUVI portal is also there, guys. So you don't even have to worry about anything. So now I'll tell you what is the fee structure and stuff. So already I've got three more queries. So somebody is asking, how about placements, guys? Until you are getting placed, we will support you with the interviews. Imagine you are attending around 10 interviews and you got missed miserably all those 10 interviews. No worries. Additional 10 interviews we will schedule and give you. So that is how we will support you until you are getting placed. We will arrange interviews and we will be keep on supporting you. You don't even have to worry about it, guys. Any other queries you have, you can ask. Okay, so I'll tell you what is the bonus. So people those are joining through this webinar, you guys will be getting around 15,000 rupees off in the total course fee. So actually the total course fee would be costing you around 89,999 it would be costing you. So you guys will be getting 15,000 off, and you guys will be paying 74,999 is the fees. EMI options are applicable. So for registration, I have shared you a registration link. Please register and share me the screenshot to my WhatsApp number. Guys, I'm just answering all your queries. So in the chat itself, I'm answering. Uh, Uzaif Ur Rahman, this is an online live class. So how many of you are interested for the registration, guys? I have raised the poll. Please answer the poll. Those who guys want more details, you can just ping me in WhatsApp. Guys, 3 months is the duration. Guys, if you want more details, you can just ping me my WhatsApp 9710390234. You can directly message me in WhatsApp. I've already got a lot of text in WhatsApp. Since I'm in the session, I'm unable to answer you. Prasad Kanchan, Prasad, I'll tell you, if you want, you can make the payment in 3 months or in 6 months. That is your choice. We are providing around 24 months EMI for your flexibility. So 24 months EMI for your flexibility. If you want to pay in full payment, also you can pay. That is your choice. But the course will get completed within 3 to 4 months. People are asking about registration link, so I'm just sharing the registration thing. So just scan the QR, do the registration, and share it to me in my WhatsApp number. Share me the payment screenshot so that I can redeem the 20,000 for you. So the fees would be around 73,800, guys. EMI applicable. So if you have made the payment of 999 registration, then the remaining payment would be 72,800. Just do the registration and share me the screenshot. Rahul Rao Prasad. So I have got your payment screenshot. So kindly share me your mail ID so that I can redeem the 20,000 for you. Guys, those who are wanting for the certificate, you guys will be getting it. Don't worry. Hamza, the course fee is 74,999. Out of which 999 will be deducted, reduced because you are already making 999 payment, right? So the remaining fees would be 74,000. Guys, certification you will be getting in your mail. Don't worry. If you want and you are waiting for certification, you can leave the meet. No issues. You will be getting your certification in the mail. Don't worry. Yeah, EMI. I'll just put the EMI thing for you. Just a minute. Bala Vigneshwar, I have just shared the EMI screen for you. Guys, any other doubts, please put them in the chat box. Ajit Kumar, any doubts, queries? Karishma, any doubts, queries? Momin Mohammed, any doubts, queries? Guys, if you have any doubts, queries, please put it in the chat. If you don't have any doubts, queries, please go ahead and make the registration. So already I have got around 12 registrations. So 13 more. So once the registration is done, then we will wind up the session. But the forum will not be open for a long time. Just 5 more minutes, we will be winding up. People, those who are waiting for the certificate, you guys can leave. You will be getting the certificate in your mail. Guys, any doubts, queries, you can just post it in the chat. I'll just respond to you. Guys, any other doubts, queries you have? I'm just keeping a scanner page to you. So I'll just wait for another 5 more minutes. Any doubts, queries, you can just post it in the chat box. Yeah, sorry. So any doubts, queries you guys have? If you guys have done the registration, please share me the screenshot. Please share me the payment screenshot. Any other doubts, queries you guys have?